There are so many smartphone gimbals on the market, it's hard to figure out which gimbal is right for you. I mean, they all pretty much do the same thing, right? Or do they? Right, I got a Filmic Pro all loaded, ready to go. I'm gonna hit record. Oh my days. I'm in Filmic Pro and I am just moving around. This thing is just tracking me everywhere. Oh, this is a game changer. Oh, babe, you gotta check this out. You gotta check this out. Ooh, yeah. Now, the iSteady V2 gimbal from Hohem is a game changer. It has a feature that is gonna blow you away. And in this video, I'm gonna tell you why. Let's do this. What is going on? It's Anil, and today's video we're going to be looking at the iSteady V2 gimbal from Hohem. Now they were kind enough to send this gimbal to me to review today, guys, and I'm going to be going through build quality, design, the setup process. We're going to look at the Hohem Pro camera, performance, price, and also some cool features, which includes an AI tracking feature which you just have to stick around and check out. Finally, I'll be giving you my final thoughts on the gimbal and who I think should be buying it. Now, with this being a review, I've time-stamped all of those sections below so you can skip around, you can bookmark this video, come back and check out a particular section in the future. So with this being a gimbal, primary function of a gimbal is to shoot super smooth video footage. So I took this gimbal out for a spin. Let's check out the results. Not bad at all. So let's take a look at build quality and design. But first, let's check out the box because Hohem packaged this very, very well. I was quite impressed. The unboxing experience, that was pretty good. Obviously, you come with some, yeah, we don't need that. But the gimbal itself is great. It's absolutely brilliant. It feels so good in your hand. I mean, the quality of the item is second to none. It's small, it's lightweight, and it weighs only 263 grams. And it easily fits in your pocket. So other things that you get in the box, you get a mini tripod stand, which also very convenient. You can use this to prop your gimbal up. You also get a little wrist strap, and you also get a nice carrier pouch. And then finally, you get a USB cable to charge the gimbal. Hohem also sent me the RS01 selfie stick. Now, I know they do a bundle of the gimbal and the selfie stick together. Now, this also feels really good in the hand. It also comes with a little remote, which you can take off and keep in your pocket. We'll go through that a bit later. The total weight of this selfie stick is 138 grams. So again, you're not adding too much extra weight to your setup. It screws into your gimbal as smooth as anything. Look at that, amazing. And it also extends to up to 300 millimeters. And the selfie stick also has tripod legs at the bottom. Easy to open and also easy to fold away. Overall, the build quality and design, yeah, I like it. I like it. Speaking of likes, you know what I'm going to ask you to do next, don't you? Hit the like button. If you want to learn more about filmmaking and photography with your smartphone, then please hit subscribe too. Now let's take a look at the setup process, because setting up this gimbal is easy as that. that. First thing you need to do, turn a little knob on the side of your gimbal. That will then release the cradle. You tighten that back up. You're ready to then mount your handset. Now before you mount your handset, make sure that the Hohem logo is facing upwards. Then you can mount your handset into the gimbal. Once that handset is mounted, just slide it until it's balanced and centered. All you need to do then is go over to your app store, download the Hohem Pro camera app, and then connect your gimbal to the app, and then you're ready to go. Right, we're gonna have a look at the button configuration because this gimbal has a very simplistic design and there's various different button combinations that you need to know in order to execute certain actions. So long press on the power button will power it on, but a single press on the power button will toggle between portrait and landscape mode. A double press on the power button will recenter the phone. Triple pressing that power button will move the gimbal into inception mode. And that's where the phone will start to spin on its own. You can then use the joystick to move the phone around. If we move to the left, you've got the shutter button. When you're ready to start recording, just one single press on that shutter button to start and stop your recording. And this works in other apps like Film Pro too. Now double pressing the shutter button will switch between photo and video mode in the Hohem Pro app. Triple pressing that shutter button will switch between the front and rear facing cameras inside of the Hohem Pro app. This whole button configuration works exactly the same with the remote on the selfie stick too. Now let's talk about gimbal modes because this gimbal has four gimbal modes. Now the problem with a lot of gimbals is switching between gimbal modes has always been just a pain. You got to go into their Pro app, you got to find the menu options, switch between different gimbal modes. Oh no. The Hohem iSteady V2, you can switch gimbal modes using the buttons. Again, it's just a combination of button presses to switch between all four modes. So holding down that shutter button and a single tap on the power button will move your gimbal into pan, tilt and follow mode. Again, holding down that shutter button, 2 taps on the power button will move the gimbal into pan and follow mode. Holding down the shutter button with 3 taps on that power button will move the gimbal into all lock mode. And then finally, holding down that shutter button, 4 taps on that power button will move you into POV mode. So easy. When you're out and about and you're filming, you can just quickly switch between the different modes. You're not losing any footage or missing that moment that you want to capture. Now, we're gonna move on to the cool feature that I've been talking about. The game-changing feature that Hohem have designed in this gimbal, and that's the AI tracking sensor. This feature alone is the reason why you should buy this gimbal and why I think it's a game changer. The iSteady V2 gimbal has AI technology, tracking technology built in. No app required. Did you hear what I said? I said no app required. You don't need to use software to track a subject. You can track your face using any app. You can use this feature with Film Pro, ProTake, even a standard camera app if that's the particular app you want to use. But the biggest win is live streaming. If you do a lot of live streaming, Facebook Live, Instagram Live, wherever you're streaming live on your phone, you can use this gimbal and it can track your movements. Just think about the possibilities here for hands-free videos that you can do, tutorials, cooking tutorials, you can move around, maybe you're teaching a dance class, you're going live, yoga, possibilities are endless. And setting up and using the AI tracking is easy. So easy. All you need to do is once your gimbal's all set up, hold down on the button on top of the AI sensor. The LED will go red. It means that it's ready to start tracking. But it won't start tracking you until you do the OK symbol. The LED will turn green and then it will track you. You can load up any camera app, you can go live on Facebook or whatever you're doing, and it will just track your movements. And it's pretty good at tracking you as well. I was doing some ducking and diving, moving around, trying to trick it, and it tracked me very well. Even when I went out of view and came back, it picked me up just like that. And there are other gestures that you can use with it. If you want to stop the tracking, you just hold your palm up. Again, if you want to resume tracking, the OK symbol. You can also switch the orientation. So a thumbs up and the turning to the right will switch into portrait mode, thumbs up again, back into landscape mode. They've also put a light on the gimbal. So if you're in low light situations, you can use the light, you can film if you're going live, whatever you're doing, you've got the light there, and it's got 3 brightness levels. Just simply tap on the light to go through all 3 levels. 1 tap, 2 taps, and then 3 taps for the brightest setting. Right guys, now I'm going to jump into the Hohem Pro app and show you what that's about. We'll start on the top left hand corner. First icon there, you can see Bluetooth, you can see your Bluetooth status. There's a couple of battery icons on the top left as well. You've got one for your phone and one for the gimbal. And that last icon basically tells you which mode your gimbal is in. At the moment, I'm in pan, tilt, follow. That's why it says PTF. Now let's continue on the left-hand side. We've got 5 icons on the left there. The first icon basically takes you back to the home screen. So we're not going to touch that. The next icon, you can actually turn on the light. The next icon, I can switch between the front and rear cameras. So if I tap on that, it's going to switch to the front camera. Ooh, look at that, man. Then I can switch back to the rear camera. The next icon is all about face tracking. So I can track by objects and track by faces too. Then the last icon is where your settings are. You'll notice that there are 3 more options there. The first one is all about the camera settings. You can do resolution, you can change the grids. You can also activate professional mode on your camera. So if I select that and come out of that menu, you'll notice I now have manual controls over my video. White balance, ISO, exposure, all of the options that you would need to do manual adjustments on your video is in that menu. If I pop back in, disable that. Now the next icon on the list is the gimbal icon. So if I select that, and this is where you can configure all of your gimbal settings. You can change the speed, the follow speeds, the working mode. Like I mentioned, you can move into either one of those 4 modes. And there's also options for joystick speed. You can do auto collaboration on the gimbal. There's so many options in there. And that last menu item on the left, if I tap on that bottom left icon, just gives you some information about the device, serial numbers, etc. Now we're going to come out of that menu. Now we're going to continue down on the left, and the bottom left you'd see this Z and F. Basically Z is for zoom and F is for focus. So if I tap on that Z now, I can actually zoom into that plant and zoom out. If I tap on that F, I can actually control my focus as well. Now let's move over to the right hand side. So let's start from the top right, those 3 icons at the top. The first icon, there's certain filters that you can do. You've got beauty, milk, vanilla. I like to keep it on original. Now the next icon is hand gesture. If I switch to the front facing camera, I've got the hand gesture icon on. I'm gonna sit back now. If I put my hand up, it will basically take a photo. The next icon down is basically your manual shutter. I'm in photo mode and it can take that photo successfully. To the right of those menu items, you can see that you've got more additional options where you can switch between photo and video. You've also got time-lapse mode and slow motion as well. If I select moments, you've got all of these different effects that you can choose from. You've got panoramic video, fantastic rotation, you've got the inception effect. Lots of really cool stuff that you can do with this gimbal using the Hohem Pro app. So let's talk about the performance and price. Got to say, I was impressed with the performance of this gimbal. The 3-axis stabilization was very good. In most situations where I was filming, I didn't have any issues at all. It's the perfect all-round gimbal for filmmakers. Battery life is 9 hours. The AI sensor has a 4-hour battery life, and if you're using the LED, it has a 2-hour battery life. There's also a USB-C port on the gimbal, so you can also charge your smartphone at the same time, and charging the gimbal is a total of 2 hours, which is really convenient. Now the selfie stick was also pretty cool. I got some really great creative shots, some low slung shots extending that selfie stick out, and also some fake drone shots. I think it's a great little accessory to have bundled in with this gimbal. So a few things to note about the iSteady V2 gimbal. If you're a serious, hardcore filmmaker on your smartphone, this might not be the gimbal for you. The motors are good, but I did notice that with my iPhone 13 Pro Max, it did struggle with certain moves. And without the option of counterweights and the maximum payload of 280 grams, it's just a little bit limited for those people that like to use lots of lenses or filters and are quite serious about filmmaking with their smartphones. Also, if you have large hands like me, you will struggle to hold this without interfering with the buttons. I mean, these hands are big. I could shovel snow with this. But there is a little hack. You can use the little tripod stand, screw it on, and give you some extra grip. You can then hold the gimbal without interfering with the buttons. Now let's talk about price, because the gimbal is currently sitting at $129. $129, an absolute bargain for what you get, especially with the AI tracking. It's great value for money. The RS01 selfie stick also comes in at around $29, but Hohem do a bundle, and I know currently on the Hohem website, the bundle is $129. So you're effectively getting that selfie stick for free. But putting those things aside, who do I think this gimbal is made for? I think it's perfect for the savvy smartphone user, someone looking to get into filmmaking, filming better video with your phone. It's a great all-round gimbal. And also, if you're a live streamer, this gimbal is going to be awesome. If you're doing lots of hands-free tutorials, maybe you have a YouTube channel about cooking, this gimbal is going to be perfect for you. The AI feature is a game changer and something different, something unique on the market. It really makes the Hohem iSteady V2 gimbal stand out from the competition. I can't wait to use this gimbal for future videos on this channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Check out some of these other videos, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.